This is Castor's second session with standing on a mat. So if you definitely watch the first one, you can tell the difference a lot better from the first and second one. He's a lot slower. There's a lot less movement. There's a lot less confusion. So I'm gonna try not to repeat myself too much, but I should have just like not been too worried about his positioning here on the mat. Just any foot will do, and then I can shape that over time. Or if like with him, he's not worried about it, so I could use my target, put him on the mat, and then I needed to increase my rate of reinforcement. So I'm just giving him a treat, and then like I have to like fast forward here because I didn't give him a treat for a while. Like I should have decreased that amount of time. So I'm giving him a treat, and then a few seconds go by, another treat. A few seconds go by, another treat. So that's why you need to make sure you have small reinforcers so that you can feed them more often, especially in the beginning. When you're teaching a behavior, that's what you need in the beginning. As you go on, you can have bigger ones and then have longer spaces of time between there. But definitely in the beginning, you're going to want little reinforcers so you can feed at a high rate of reinforcement. So I'm just putting him back here. Again, he wants to follow me and he doesn't understand to stay on the mat, but we're working on it. He's a lot slower. I'm just trying to fix it here. So he kind of kicked some dirt up on it, and I want to make sure that it's very clear that I want your feet on the mat. But here, see, he's got that shoulder off, so he's got that right front foot between the mat and the around the round pen. He's trying to get to me as close as he can. So teaching this lesson is going to teach him that he can stay in one place and not be near me, but he still gets reinforcement. So this lesson's super important. I should have taught this years ago. But transitioning over from negative reinforcement, you're like, horse stand on a mat, that's ridiculous. But it's actually very useful. So, because this is going to transfer to getting in the trailer, going on like over any obstacle, bridges, going into stalls, things like that, different textures, or maybe if your horse is afraid of concrete, something like that. It's really good for that with the textures, and then it's really good for teaching the stay, so he can stand there while you tack up, while you groom, do whatever. Like lots of liberty stuff. Like if you want a horse to come like run to you and stand on a place, this is the beginning of it. So this is a lot better though. Like I'm doing a lot more. My rate of reinforcement's higher, so I was feeding him more often there. I just had him turn around here. We're gonna do the other side, but it's looking a lot better. He's a lot less. There's a lot less movement for him. Like this is really nice, but you can definitely tell that he's slower when I'm feeding him more often. It's like there was a few seconds because I've sped up the video where I wasn't showing him clearly what I wanted, and then he kind of scooted toward me, and then I had to back him up with my target. But I'm also reinforcing that because I'm presenting him with the target, and then I'm showing him, okay, I'm going to show you, like, if you do a behavior, I'm going to reinforce it. So I could end up with accidentally reinforcing that shuffle over to me. So you don't want to do that. That's why I want such a high reinforcement level where I'm feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding. So like in the beginning, none of that junk behavior where he's turning his head or shuffling toward me gets in there. So like if I feed and feed for being on the mat, and then wait 1 second, feed, do that 3 times, 2 seconds, feed, continue on until I can have him stand on the mat for multiple minutes. But he looks a lot better, so I just made this clip really short. He's a lot slower, but it's also correlating with my rate of reinforcement because it's higher. It's not as high as it should be, but it's higher than it was.